You know, we mentioned earlier the likes of Swarthmore Leos, you know, playing all the way to the edge, but not risking it beyond the 5 meter towards the touchline and stepping back. And most of their players just keep bringing the ball back there. So it is frustrating. It's called game awareness as well. I mean, the player should know at what point of the game they are in. Buzzer's gone, you're behind by 7 points. You'd think with the possession, you'd want to keep that going. Remember, Kenya Harlequins lost to Nakuru in the quarterfinals this morning because Nakuru just built up about 10 phases. Even after the buzzer had gone, they scored about 2 minutes over the time. That's about 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Did score Nakuru simply by keeping the ball eventually. And they did play edge to edge. But then again, these are some of the things that happen in a game of rugby.
Well, so much to talk about. However, we have a game kicking off. Our center referee in the picture there, just getting ready, counting the numbers. Kabras Sugar. Now, the case of this game, Nakuru punching really above their weight, beating the defending champions, losing in the semis. Do you think that maybe this would be one game far too much for them?
That is how the semi-finals looked like, because they were well beaten there by Swarthmore. But they would have picked up a lot of encouragement from that game, especially having beaten the defending champions. And it's an opportunity. I think the players would take this opportunity. I know Coach Ouma would say that some of the players would have to show what they're made of in a game like this one, playing against Kabras, who themselves are no slouch, Walter. And as I say that, one of the reasons why they were bundled out by KCB is those unforced errors.
Yes, rising up there, taking the ball well. But Roy Maruti losing concentration there for a minute. And knocking the ball on. Well, allowing Nakuru at least a bit of possession.
If they continue making those kind of errors, I think Nakuru will have an opportunity here. To be fair to Kabras, that scrum response was emphatic.
Well, Kabras strike to give you that image of a team that, I mean, the fact that they didn't make that cup final would be making them hard. However, they know that they are a better team than the position that they are currently playing.
Certainly, and with respect to Nakuru, they're showing a lot of respect for Nakuru here in terms of how they're approaching this game. As we see there, Mwanyi and Wekesa just manhandling the Nakuru player.
Because look at it, every opportunity to go for the ball, they're challenging that. They're challenging the line out, they're challenging the scrum, they're challenging the breakdown. You try going to contact, they hold you up. So it's a struggle for Nakuru to at least play some rugby.
I would argue, based on what that feedback is, that perhaps Kabras are just a little bit that more powerful than the Nakuru play in terms of strength here. So Nakuru probably have to move the ball a bit more. Not necessarily missing passes, but it does work here eventually. And it's a try, as I say that.
And Nakuru are feeding off these mistakes by Kabras. You'd say that Kabras have so much power, but too little brawn.
Well, they do have both power and brawn. But I think the opportunity for Nakuru might not be to take them on up front, unless they really have to, and maybe move the ball a bit more. I thought if they just moved it without the miss pass, there was an opportunity to score, but eventually it was a missed tackle. I think it was a missed tackle there at the end.
But all this, Nakuru are earning the right to play from the Kabras mistakes. It's Kabras who are not able to execute.
Correct.
And you know, it then leaves Nakuru with nothing but an opportunity to attack.
It was a Kabras lineup. They got it comfortably. There was no pressure there. There was a knock on then on that after that line out. And then here we see a missed tackle by Lamek Ambetsa. You think you'd take that tackle at the end there. But the missed tackle, again, as you say, creates an opportunity. They take that kick off very well, do Kabras.
Once again, possession with Kabras. Sketa Mutua. Lamek Ambetsa taking on the defensive line. This is the third and fourth playoff match. Coming back against the grain, looking for work is Kevin Wekesa, having to deal with Chris Ojuang Jalupo. Roy Maruti has seen clean grass ahead of him. That is a young man from the western side of the country, former Koyonzo. And a beautiful gesture there immediately after scored, celebrated. That is very, very good sevens rugby. Put the head down, pin back your ears.
There was a line speed defense in the middle of the field there by Nakuru, but Maruti just stepped off his right leg here, leaving the Nakuru defense.
I think Roy knows he's a talented young man. You can see the confidence, the way he scored his tries. He must be up there with the among us the top try scorers for this event.
Well, like I said, we'll check the statistics. We always like to do that. I did speak to some of the people here working with the 7 series regarding the statistics, and it would be good to see some of these statistics here. And you're right, maybe perhaps Roy is up there. And with Sketa himself, he's been doing well for Kabras. Look at that kickoff, they get ball back. Some people did argue that maybe Sketa should have been involved with the 15s, as Wekesa is taken there.
Chris Ojuang making it personal. He never wanted to let Kevin Wekesa beat him. Back tackle there, perfect technique. Kabras swinging it out wide. That
Again,
is Mutua, Brian Mutua. Taking a minute there to grasp some air.
Yeah, Mutua there just breaks the Nakuru defense with a simple fend and step and goes under the post there. Poor defense here this last 2 minutes or so from Nakuru. And that, as you were saying, Walter, earlier, mistakes from Kabras were allowing Nakuru to score. Now Nakuru, the errors, are allowing Kabras to score, and I'm seeing a yellow card here by the center referee. I think we'll do a kickoff with a penalty with it. There seems to be an issue here. Center referee has yellow carded.
Okay, Joel. No, Chris Ojuang is the rightful card owner, if you might say it.
Yes. Not sure what he did there.
And having a chat there with Wekesa, something to do with a small battle within the battle itself among us, the Kenya Sevens players. Well, we'll love to see it. It is the Sportpesa National 7 Circuit. Those are the moments. That is what it's all about. But the next 2 minutes for Chris Ojuang as he serves his ban. The hooter also about to sound as we head into halftime. The third and fourth playoff match, a match between Kabras Sugar and Nakuru. After this, we'll have the second final. That is the second division final. And then we'll have the Division 1 category final. So sit back, relax, and enjoy more rugby coming your way. The big cup final will be Strathmore Leos taking on KCB. Get us in the comment section to know exactly who you're supporting. Who between KCB and Strathmore Leos will carry the day today at the Driftwood 7 Sportpesa National 7 Circuit 2025. Nakuru there wanting to score before they head into halftime. Probably the best time to score with one man in the sin bin. That advantage still with Kabras. Kabras hoping to keep it alive, and that would be the halftime break. The halftime scores: Kabras Sugar 14, Nakuru 5.
get the second half kickoff going on here by Jackson Sketa. He takes it, kicks it high up there into the Mombasa sky. Javan Nakuru with the ball here. He gets apprehended. An attempt there by Mutua for the ruck contest. Show and go here by Nakuru. Is that a turnover by Wekesa? Now he says he didn't release, so you have to go 10. No tackle release there, according to the referee. Nakuru up to kick for touch. They do get touch. Brian Mutua there with the fender, take him back. Yeah, no clear release here, says the referee. Good defense here by Nakuru. The main business here as they are back to the full complement. But Mombasa Cyprian seems to be in trouble. I think he landed with his head here. There's an awkward landing there by Cyprian Mombasa. Looks to have banged his head on the floor there. Medical team just making sure he's okay. It's 2 more games to go here with the big final coming up in about 30 minutes. But first we have to finish this one, the third place playoff between Kabras Sugar and Nakuru. And then the Division 2 final coming on immediately after that. And then after that, it's the big one. Strathmore Leos, who have been really, really efficient this weekend, take on KCB. Mombasa just gingerly walking out there. Looks like he landed awkwardly, Cyprian Mombasa. Seems to have been tackling the player, but somehow got his head stuck in the wrong place and sort of banged his head on the floor. But he looks good for now. But I don't think he'll be continuing with this one.
Scrum down. Kabras. Sketa. Salano back into Ambeta, who gets Brian on a short line. Ambeta. Roy pins the ears once again. An elusive customer, that one, Roy Maruti.
When the passes do stick, Walter, Kabras are a formidable side. Unfortunately, sometimes they seem to have a good structure, but just that little occasional unforced error there makes a difference, especially in semi-finals when you're playing the likes of KCB. They do punish, and eventually those small margins make a difference in the semi-finals or a quarter-final. But in this case here, Kabras score after some really neat play there. Eventually, Roy Maruti with a try.
Kabras 21, Nakuru 5. Well, big shout out to Ticini.co.ke offering live scores as it happens. It is live. And there are the injury replacements coming onto the pitch. Lukusi and Eric Cantona. Back in action, Nakuru RFC. Victor Matiko. Matiko finding Chris. Nakuru. Big bump there on the edge. Player not rolling away. Victor Matiko dishing out the big one. Looking to clear their defensive line. Attack higher up the pitch. Kick for touch. High pass there, hospital pass, hugging pass. Chris Ojong finished off, but the referee is playing an advantage. Penalty, offside. Kabras were offside. Javan. Nakuru, assistant on attack. Opande Bonaventure. Opande Bonaventure, referee playing an advantage. Okeo Joel runs into the coming defensive line of Kabras. Ball goes backwards. Makete Wilson, referee playing an advantage. Knock on. Or a scrum advantage. Plays pull back. It is scrum time to Kabras. Perhaps one last attacking opportunity as the clock counts down. Maybe Kabras to test if they're ready for Prinsloo with this.
Yeah, it will be. It is a final after all. If you consider that for you to play a final, to play 6 games, this is their sixth game for both teams. And Nakuru is a formidable opponent, especially for this tournament. So they just try to finish on a high here, Kabras, as they build up the phases here. But again, ball on the floor. It's a knock-on, I think.
Perhaps this is a clear indicator to the coaches on how ready these teams or how ready these players are going into the second leg of the Sportpesa National 7th Circuit.
Yes, I think they will have some feedback on this. They do have taken their own videos. But of course, thanks to Sportpesa here and Live Eye, they will also pick up some of the extra angles on this one, some extra footage, I would say, as the buzzer goes here. Time running out for Nakuru. Maybe they want to finish on a flourish, but Kabras so far having none of it.
There is a battle there. I'm sure that is Wekesa, is it? I'm not sure if that's Wekesa and Chris Ojwang. That is an end swing. That is Otieno, who was going to war with Nakuru. Nakuru fashioning the ball, sneaking back. Lukusi, strong defense, marshalling his defensive troops. Kick and chase there by Okeo Joel, but tackled without the ball. Referee asking the question, where do you want to take the ball? Where do you want to restart the game? And that's a tackle off the ball. Quick tap for Nakuru, most probably. Or it will be a set piece. Not sure what they decide. Eno Kubai standing over that, taps, looks up, sees space. Victor Mantiko swings it out wide to Javan. Javan steps back in. Javan offloads to the outside. And that is a try for Nakuru. Try time, Nakuru finishing up strongly. That is Makete Wilson finishing strongly. Javan Otieno stepping back in, offloading to the one man on the outside. And that's a simple put down. Try time, Nakuru.
Yeah, the finish here on high Nakuru. But unfortunately, they were too far behind here as far as points are concerned. But they will pick up some confidence from this. They can't score against anyone, Nakuru. Remember that wonderful game they had against Kenya Harlequins in the quarterfinals earlier this morning, keeping possession for over 2 minutes with the buzzer having gone. Mental and physical composure as that game comes to an end. It's good to see the camaraderie here between the two teams.
In your picture there, as the ball was offloaded to Nakuru. Nakuru stepping too little, too late, as they would say, but nonetheless, scoring opportunity taken there, and they will be brimming with confidence.